It's ups and downs and anything. Keep going, my nigga. It's better than I damn near had to sacrifice everything. Keep
Ups and downs in anything, rises and fallers. Week 37, segment 37, depending how you're taking us in. Whether you're taking us in on the YouTube, if you're taking us in on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're taking us on Instagram, make sure you follow, with the TMG boys. Or this is TMG Mellow. Make sure you follow us, we're just trying to make it. But yeah, rise and fallers for our newcomers. Simply where we take stock of our athletes and their organizations in the previous week. Key part being the previous week. See who's been rising in stock and see who subsequently has been falling in stock. And it's time to get right into it. So the first rise of the week is going to be West Ham Football Club. The Hammers, the Irons. They have been a revelation this season. They've been amazing. And, they're looking at the Real Deal Holyfield. For you guys that don't know, Real Deal is Evander Holyfield's nickname, his alias. Evander Real Deal Holyfield. And if you're the Real Deal, I'll call you that title, the Real Deal Holyfield. They're looking the Real Deal. I mean, they have beat Leicester. They have beat Everton. They have beat Spurs. They beat City, albeit in the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup. But those are the teams, the first three teams, Leicester, Everton, and Spurs. Those are the teams that, they'll aspire to compete against. Because, they're considered to be the rest, the top three. It's like, got Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool. It was supposed to be United in that top four, but they're kind of underperforming. So it was a matter about being the best of the rest. If Arsenal are performing well, you could include Arsenal in the best of the rest. And so far, West Ham are the best of the rest. And, this previous week, they completely took apart Aston Villa, beat them 4-1. It was a top performance. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't keep the clean sheet because Cresswell, I got in my FBL team. Unfortunately, they didn't. But yeah, they're solid throughout from top to bottom. Fabianski, it's been a revelation since he joined West Ham. Keeper Arsenal had. Just like Szczesny, plays for Juventus. Also Chesney, plays for Juventus. I keep it Arsenal had. But but I won't get into too much of that because if I did, I would spend the whole time talking about that silly club. But yeah, they look a great threat in Europa League as well. They're pushing for the UCLC spots. And it's led by their midfield as well. And their attack and their defence, like I said, but specifically talking about their midfield. Declan Rice has been one of the most improved players. If the Premier League had an award like they do in basketball, most improved, I think Declan Rice will be a shoo-in. He'll definitely be one of the favourites. I mean, he's becoming a real midfield maestro, defensive midfielder. He sweeps at everything. His passing range has become a lot better. He's controlling games. And I remember when guys used to doubt him. I mean, he's only like 21, maybe 22. Guys can improve, Of course, guys can get worse as well. I won't say they can't, but guys can improve. Like, give them time. Just because they're just doing the basics, winning the ball, giving it early. And as a midfielder myself, and a guy that's played there for a while, there's nothing wrong with a DM just winning the ball and giving it simple to his more talented players and making runs, tackling, winning his battles. There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing your job for the team. Just in real life, everyone has a role to play. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone has to be a Busquets or a Fernandinho or I guess a Casemiro or something like that. That's an expansive, or Jabi Alonso or whatever. An expansive DM that, defensive midfielder that passes the ball, has an expansive range of passing, has every club in the bag. You don't need that. Just defend our goal. Just defend, help our defense do less defending, protect our defense, and give it simple to the more talented players. That's what he was doing before, but now he's taking his game to a new level. He's got good strike on him. Like I said, his passing range. He scored a goal on the weekend as well. Shout out to the boy Declan Rice. As my guy T-Fresh likes to say, rice and stew. What a guy. But flipping, going over to the midfield in the attack, Ben Rama brings the sauce, the technique, the skill. Bowen, a good kind of like almost like a throwback winger. Just say he plays on the inside, works hard up and down, goal threat, dribbles, direct. You got Fornals, another classy operator, a guy that let me not get into that. But yeah, he pieces things together, helps to connect the midfield to the attack expertly, and then obviously spearheaded by Mikel Antonio. He's a nightmare. It's like a throwback of Drogba, maybe a poor man's Drogba to an extent, but that's not a shame at all. Drogba was an elite striker, world-class striker, but Mikel Antonio gives me Drogba vibes. Very strong, very kind of quick, powerful, takes the ball, chases down loose ends, and that's makes it a hell of a night. Not in a good way, in a bad way, for any defender that comes up against him. But we'll see. I mean, also the rap, I give big shout out to Ben Johnson, who's apparently Lady King's, I think, cousin or nephew. He's filling in for Kufa expertly. And Zuma's done well. That's a very good signing for them because Zuma was supposed to be one of the wonder kids back in the day, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I think unfortunately injuries have slowed him down, and hopefully he can find his feet at West Ham and take him to the next level. Because I do like Zuma, and if he can become a lot more consistent, he can become a top class centre back that we all pegged him to be. But from football, we go over to the sweet science, which is, I can't even lie, right now it's the most exciting sport right now. The amount of fights are lined up. Boy, you got Caleb Plant next week. Hopefully, Caleb Plant shocks the world. Damn. But we'll go to Jerome Boots. Ennis, another guy that could potentially shock the world in a couple years or so. He now moves up to 28-0 with 1 no contest, 26 KOs at the welterweight division. That's a knockout percentage of 93%. I'll say that one more time. Knockout percentage of 93%. He absolutely blitzkrieged Thomas Jerome in 2 minutes. Jerome is seen as a gatekeeper, former world title contender in the welterweight division. And, Jerome came out wanting to make a statement, and he did just that. He got rid of Jerome in under 2 minutes, essentially. And he's another switch hitter, a la Terence Crawford, a bit like Fury. Because for the first knockout, he was in an orthodox stance. He clipped Jerome with an overhand right. Second knockdown, he finished with a 3-piece combo with a left hook. This was in the southpaw stance. So he shows that he has many wrinkles to his game, different skills, different looks, different angles he can give to potential fighters that want to take him down. So it's going to make him a lot tougher to beat. But after his magnificent victory, he proceeded to say the following: "I've been ready for 2 years for a world title. Let's line them up. The top 5 guys: Errol Spence, Dennis Ugas, Sean Porter, Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman. We're taking over the welterweight division." That's what his statement. And boy, I feel him. I feel you, boy. But yeah, the thing that might slow him down from those big fights, he's only 24. Those guys are in their early 30s, so they're kind of in different generations. And also, he's managed by Cameron Duncan, who used to manage Crawford Bradley and Kelly Pavlik. And he's not really assigned to any major label, not a Top Rank, not a PBC, not a Matchroom. So it's kind of hard to get a fight with those guys because he's a bigger risk. It's a huge risk with little reward. And in the boxing game, and to us, in most fight games, you don't fight those guys when you're looking for bigger and better fish reward-wise to fry. Like someone like Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, they're not gonna fight someone like Jerome Boots Ennis to not make major buck. They're gonna fight them Errol Spence or Terence Crawford. They'll hopefully fight themselves. They'll fight Sean Porter. They'll fight Keith Thurman. They'll fight Dennis Ugas, guys that got belts, guys that are making major buck, guys that will make them major revenue. That's the type of guys they will fight. They won't, unfortunately, fight someone like Jerome Boots Ennis, but he's calm. He's 24. By the time he's 26, I expect him to have a world title fight. If Dennis still has that belt, he can fight him. Because I do expect, especially Errol Spence, if he stays fit, I expect him to move up in the division. Just like I expect Jerome Boots Ennis to move up in the divisions in the future. But, the last rise of the week, we go to Myles Bridges from the Hornets. He's moving cruddy. You know how I mentioned the most improved player? He wants a piece of the action. He's going to be he's going to be fighting against Tyler Hero, against Lonzo Ball. Right now, Jaron Morant is running away with the thing because he's not just going for most improved, he's going for MVP at the moment. I mean, if he could get the Grizzlies to a decent record. But he's made great strides. Over the 4-game span, over the last week, he scored 32, 25, 31, and 22 points. Shooting 50% in every single game, which is a great mark. Rebounding wise, he grabbed 9, 10, 6, and 8 boards. He's an electric athlete and he's defending well. I've been holding my Myles Bridges stock for a while because I saw his major athleticism and the plays he can make, but he's made improvements. Shooting the ball, defending, making better decisions. So hopefully, he could be a major staple for the Hornets as they try to get to the top of the tree, essentially with LaMelo Ball and that. But with the risers, we now go to the fallers. The number 1 faller of the week is Rusell Westbrook, or should I say Westbrick? Boy. The RW experience, the Westbrook experience, the Brody experience is real as hell. It is real. I mean, he fills out the stat sheet. He fills out the stat sheet completely from left to right. The entire stat line, the percentages, the raw numbers, the total numbers. He fills out everything. He leaves no stat unturned. Boy, because in that span, he averaged 21, 9, and 10 with 2 steals, which is great stats. It's, again, another triple-double. However, on the flip side, he also averaged 48% from the field, which is very good, Miami. But this is where we get a bit techie. 29% from the 5 of 17, averaging just over 4 a game. I want you shooting 2 or 3, but, do your thing. But 29% is not good enough. But then again, that's his career percentages, so it is what it is. The free throws. I mean, the way Rusell Westbrook's free throw shooting ability has tanked, because he's like 4 or 5 years ago, he used to be like a high 70s, low 80% free throw shooter. But then again, when they changed the amount of time you could take to take a free throw, kind of messed up Rusell Westbrook's routine. And since then, he has tanked 57% from the free throw line. As a guard, especially a guard that attacks the rim so much, you can't be shooting that low from the line. You need to be shooting at least 75%. Come on, man. But the worst stat that he's been producing over that period is the 6.5 turnovers in those 4 games, which is crazy. And he had a quadruple hubble, or triple hubble, whatever way you want to call it, against his former club, which is where you get, with a quadruple hubble is where you get, obviously a quadruple double, but one of them being turnovers. So he had points, assists, and rebounds, but also had 10 turnovers. And this is the 6th time he's done that since the 80s or the 90s. And he's more than doubles the next guy, which is James Harden or James Hardhead. Boy, because their usage rates are so high, they're crazy. They're crazy ballers. But Russell Westbrook, you need to slow down. Like Trey Songz said, like Larry June said in his song, everyone has a song about slowing down. You need to listen to those boys. You need to slow down. Come on. Boy, you need to slow down. But from basketball, we go to football. Harry Kane, I'm on your ass this season because, the media won't be on your ass. Let me take a sip. Because, you can see he doesn't care to be at Spurs anymore, which I don't blame him for. But own it. I remember back in the season you were saying, I never said I wanted to leave the club, blah, blah, blah. Own it. Like I said, you can tell he doesn't want to be there. His performances are very, very lackluster. And like I said, I believe he's reducing his value on purpose. So it can, aid his escape from the club. But since his last match-winning performance, and I believe his only match-winning performance in the Premier League, maybe he got some in the Europa League Conference, but who cares about that competition, against Newcastle, he grabbed a goal and an assist, which credit to him. But since then, Spurs have lost their last 3 games on the bounce, and Kane has been piss poor, absolutely piss poor. Against United, he was awful, very lethargic, caught on the ball, not really doing much. And Spurs didn't even hit a shot on target at all. I mean, it's crazy. The way he's playing, who's going to buy him? But like I said, I feel he sees the bigger picture because his talent is mostly undoubted. We know what he can do when he's somewhat at his best. So if he reduces his value, another year off his contract, it makes it easier for him to be sold. But yeah, from football, we go back to the sweet science that is boxing. Our final fall of the week is none other than the GOAT, the greatest woman of all time in boxing, as she calls herself. And to be fair, she is right up there, to be fair, I won't lie. But that's Claressa Shields. She suffered her first professional loss in 9 years. A split decision loss to Abigail Montez in her second MMA fight under the PFL banner, Professional Fighters League, I believe. But yeah, this was MMA, not boxing, so, we have to not criticize her too heavily because, she's taken on 2 sports, which I have to give her immense credit for. But essentially, she was out-grappled, she was out-wrestled, which was smart by Montez because that's the way to beating strikers, especially when you're fighting a boxer who's, compared to UFC strikers, they're elite. You just take that away from them. They don't give them space to strike. You grapple them, ground and pound, take them into waters they're not used to, and win the fight that way. Claressa's looking to bounce back. I'm looking to fight again before the year's out, I believe in December sometime, I think mid-December. And then she's looking to set up a fight with other title holder in the division, in the middleweight division, being Savannah Marshall, who subsequently was the last person to beat her at all in amateur or professional fights in 2012, which was when I believe Claressa was 17. And people are saying this is geared up to be the biggest women boxing match ever because it's for all the marbles, all the belts, undisputed baby that we're going to see this weekend with Canelo, and pull out more on that later. Shit. But yeah, it's your boy Mello, TMG. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all platforms, the Twitter, the Instagram. Make sure you listen to us audibly, the Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like I said, it's your boy Mello. Let's get it.